A change is coming. A younger team will be appointed.
This video you're about to watch now is a shocking and mind-blowing prophetic revelation that could completely change the way you see all that is happening right now. It is actually too important for you to ignore. I want you to pay serious attention to all that has been said. Listen carefully, because what you would hear may surprise you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and loved ones, share on all social media platforms. God bless you as you do so.
I see the prophet Moses and the prophet Elijah and the prophet Jeremiah and the prophet Hosea listening to what the Lord Jesus Christ is speaking to them. The commander-in-chief and the Lord Jesus Christ is speaking to them about the nation of Nigeria. Please listen quietly. He's speaking to them about the nation of Nigeria, and he's telling them, revealing to them about his end-time plans for the nation of Nigeria. While the Lord Jesus is speaking, some of the ancient saints are also expressing their sorrows to the Lord by saying, "But Lord, there is so much of corruption in the churches. There's so much of darkness that is practiced in their churches. Their ministers' hands are full of corruption, and one hand is dark, another hand is white," meaning they are mixing the godly with the ungodly, and all in the hopes of building up a name for themselves and building up their own fame. And the Lord Jesus Christ patiently listens to them, and then with a smile on his face, he's saying, "Yes, I know all this, but yet I am going to raise up my army there. I have reserved unto me an army undefiled, dressed in white, waiting to hear my voice speaking to them. So go." And the Lord is giving to each one of them a special scroll with a special assignment to go and help the church in Nigeria to rise up to its full potential. I see the great will of Ezekiel in our midst right now. The will that the prophet Ezekiel saw in Ezekiel chapter 1 is in our midst. A great change is going to come in your country. A great change in the natural and in the spiritual. A political change is going to come. And as it will affect in the political, the change, so will it affect in the spiritual. A change is coming. A younger team will be appointed. A transition, as Elijah transitioned into a younger Elisha. A change is coming. So get ready to put on new shoes. Cast away your old thinking. Cast away the old wineskin, that you may be ready with a new wineskin of your heart, new wineskin of your mind, new wineskin of your ability to accept the new things that God will do, so that a new wine can be poured into this nation, and this new wine will heal this nation. It will heal the factional infighting in this nation. It will heal the tribal wars. It will heal. And the swords and the spears will be turned into plowshares to partake with the angels that gather for a great harvest that God is going to give to you. Put your house in order. Cast out the leaven, everything that defiles. Remove it far from your midst, for the glory of God will not come in the midst of impurity and uncleanness. Humble yourselves. Seek the face of the living God, for He is going to come like a lion, and He will send the latter rain, the former rain and the latter rain. Behold, the cloud is gathering. As Elijah saw a hand-sized cloud gathering over the seas, that will come as a mighty rain. In the same manner, a wide glorious cloud, a small cloud, is rising and coming towards your nation. Prepare yourself, for a mighty rain is going to come upon you. You are going to be drenched in the rain. You are not just going to get wet. You are going to be drenched in that rain. Younger generation ministers, you are going to be drenched in the rain. I am seeing now how this rain looks like. It is like liquid fire. It is like golden oil. It is rain, oil, water mixed together. The heavenly latter rain. The rain of the seven spirits of God.
Better, all those kinds of things will get better and delight. We are tired of watching the price of things go up almost every week, and we are tired of the insecurity. We are tired of waking up every morning and wondering what fresh problem we are going to hear on the news. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't blame Nigerians one bit. Sometimes when you come online and see people say Nigeria is finished, I honestly understand where they are coming from. Some people have completely given up on this country. Some people are planning to leave. What am I even saying? Many people are leaving every day. Some have left already. Some people don't believe that God can do anything, or God has anything good left for Nigeria anymore. And you can't blame anybody. So when I watch this, you watch this and you will see that I honestly thought it was going to be another prophecy talking about judgment or destruction or how Nigeria is doomed. But there was something that caught my attention. Did you notice that despite all the corruption and compromise that was mentioned in the prophecy, God did not say, I am done with Nigeria. Instead, he said something that really touched me, and that was the prophet mentioned. He said God has reserved an army for himself. You can think about that for a moment. If God was done with Nigeria, why would he be talking about raising an army? Why would he be talking about revival? Why would he be talking about healing? Why would he be talking about political change? And that tells me one thing: God is still interested in Nigeria. Heaven is interested in Nigeria. There is still hope for Nigeria. Let's talk about the political aspect, because I know that what many Nigerians are interested in right now is that that's what many of us might be interested in. This prophet specifically said something about political change coming. He did not say might come. He did not say possibly. He said that political change is coming. And honestly, if there is anything that Nigerians have been praying for these past few years, it is change. This current president, um, the previous president and his party, they came in with the narrative of change, and that was even the reason most people voted them initially. Change. They talked about change. They said change, change. But what was the change? What Nigerians forgot to ask was, is it a positive change or a negative change? Now they came with hope, but we don't know what kind of hope. Maybe it is a sad hope or a happy hope. But whether you're a supporter of either of any of these parties, or you don't support anybody at all, one thing most Nigerians can agree on is that we want things to get better. If you are a Nigerian, if you're from any country at all, you want things to get better for your country. Nobody enjoys paying more for food every month. There's nobody that enjoys watching their graduates or their own children stay unemployed for years, and nobody enjoys seeing parents struggle to feed their children. Nobody enjoys watching a business. If you have a sibling or a brother or a sister that started a business, you would never want to watch them shut down their business because the economy is bad. So please, let's not pretend like Nigerians are not suffering. The truth is that we are suffering in this country, and Nigerians have every right to desire change. One thing I don't want us to do though is, no matter what, I don't want you to immediately begin to interpret this prophecy based on your political preferences. The truth is, many of us already have our preferred candidates for 2027. Some people don't want to hear Tinubu's name ever again. Some people believe that Peter Obi is the answer. Some are waiting to see who eventually emerges. Some people even don't care, and that's fine. But I want us to pay attention to something this servant of God said. He went beyond talking about political change. He also talked about spiritual change. He talked about us having a transition. He talked about younger people, and he talked about new wine skins. And that got me thinking, what if the change God is talking about is bigger than changing person in Aso Rock? Because if we are being honest with ourselves, Nigeria has changed presidents so many times, starting from the military rule coming up to this time. We've celebrated new administrations before. We've danced and shouted change before so many times, yet somehow many Nigerians are still struggling today. So if this prophecy is talking about or this prophecy went beyond talking about political change that we have seen, it also talked about something bigger. Perhaps God is talking about a complete transition, beyond a transition in leadership, a transition in the mindset of Nigerians, a transition in also the kind of people that we produce as leaders, a transition in the church itself, a transition in the younger generation. And speaking of younger people, one part of this prophecy talks about um, a younger group, a younger team. Imagine a younger team being appointed. And I don't exactly know what this means politically, but let's not sit here and pretend that we know what we don't. But one thing I know that is young Nigerians have been speaking louder than ever before. Young people are beginning to care about government. They are beginning to care about the governance of the nation. They are asking questions. Talk about the current generation. People are asking questions. People are not afraid to speak up. They are refusing to settle for less, and they are demanding accountability. Whether you are talking about politics, if you are talking about entrepreneurship, ministry, or leadership, there is something happening among the younger Nigerians of today. You can see that, and perhaps that is what part of what God is preparing. Another thing I found interesting is that God did not just ignore Nigeria's problem in this prophecy. He acknowledged the corruption, he acknowledged all the issues we are facing, he acknowledged darkness. And I like that because it means that God is not pretending that everything is fine. Sometimes I feel that that's one thing Nigerians don't like. We like to pretend like everything is fine when things are not. When people speak as though we should simply smile and pretend that everything is okay, it is not okay. Things are actually difficult. People are struggling and families are struggling. Young people are getting frustrated by day. So when I hear people say Nigerians complain so much, I don't agree. Nigerians have endured a lot. But despite all of these things, there was still the message of hope in this prophecy that you listen to. And that's what should encourage every one of us. Nigeria is not finished. Okay, let's prepare ourselves because something is coming. The servant of God here spoke about a mighty rain that is coming upon Nigeria. He spoke about healing of divisions, healing of tribal conflict, as we've always seen, healing in the nation. And honestly, I don't know about you, but Nigeria needs healing. We are too divided as a people. Politics has divided us, our tribal sentiments, our tribal different religious beliefs, different tribalism has divided us. Sometimes even Nigerians spend more time fighting one another than fighting the problems that are affecting all of us. Imagine what Nigeria could have become if we were united in demanding excellence, in demanding accountability and good leadership. One thing I feel that this thing has talked about today is to give us hope. Let's not have blind optimism, nevertheless, or just do political propaganda. There is actually hope. Hope that perhaps one day, maybe Nigerian story is not yet over, and that maybe God is not done with us yet. Hope that maybe suffering and hardship that we're experiencing today, it will not define the future of this nation forever. And if you are watching this video and you have lost hope in Nigeria, please understand something. I totally get it. I totally get it. And you are not a bad person for feeling tired. You are not a bad person for feeling frustrated either. You're not a bad person for questioning whether things will get better. Many of us are also asking the same questions. But after listening to this, you can ask yourself another question. What if Nigeria is currently going through a transition and we are yet to understand it? What if this is not the end of the story? What if God is preparing something greater than we can presently see? Only time will tell. For now, I believe that this is a message of hope that many of us desperately need right now. Not hope in politicians alone and not hope in political parties. You might have hope in those ones which are not bad, but there's hope that Nigeria can still become everything that God intended for her to be. I would love to hear from you in the comment sections. Do you still believe that Nigeria is entering a season of political and spiritual transition? What part of this message stood out for you the most? Let's have a conversation in the comments. If this video has blessed you, don't forget to like, to share, subscribe, share on all social media platforms, share with your friends and loved ones. God bless Nigeria. And very importantly, God bless you too.